Hey guys, welcome. This is Chris Cox here for another Kiss guitar lesson. This is number 19. We're moving up the catalog to the Asylum album, which this is going to be for Who Wants to Be Lonely. So we're going to start with the introduction riff, which starts with basically just slide up and down on the low E string. So when you do this slide, you're actually fretting the note and you're keeping pressure on the string all the way up and down. Okay, so let's play that intro riff. So most of that is going to be doing that little riff on the open E string, and I'm muting down here with my palm on the bridge. Now that's a hammer-on from the 5th fret of the A string to the 7th fret of the A string. And you can kind of see basically I'm trailing off. I'm hammering on. The hammer-on just means that I'm striking the note on the 5th fret. I'm not actually picking the note on the 7th fret. I'm hammering on with my finger. I'm just trailing off. I just allow my hand to slide. So the only thing different on that last part before we go into the verse is so that down, up, down, up, down, up. Now, the next bar, we're into the first verse. We're going to bar our first finger on the 7th fret of the D, G, and B string. And we're just playing B, G, E, and then we're going to go down here to the 9th fret, which is going to be on the D string and G string, and play that perfect 4th. So we have this. And then we go back into the low E, open E. This part is a transition in the verse from the D power chord, which is played on the 5th fret of the A string, 7th fret of the D string, first finger, ring finger. And we're sliding down a whole step, which is 2 frets from C to D. So this is D, D to C. And then we're holding that. Just letting that note sustain and go back into. We add this riff. And that's those little perfect 4th chords. So it's basically played on the 7th fret of the D, 7th fret of the G, 9th fret of the D, 9th fret of the G. And I hammer that on. I play. So I'm actually. But you can slide if you want to. Whatever works for you. And then of course I'm pivoting on the open E, so now we're back into so B, G, D, and then 9th fret. To the open E, D to C power chord again, holding that C, shifting to D, holding that chord, letting it ring. And now we're into the chorus. The chorus is basically a D power chord, an E power chord, and a C power chord. So those are the 3 chords for the chorus. The chorus, the chords follow the melody line that Paul is singing. So when he's saying "Who Wants to Be Lonely," you're actually that strumming pattern's basically you're following that, so it sounds like this. So I'll play that again. I'm sliding the chord from 5th position to 7th position. Then I'm going, back doing this pretty much the same thing. It's just the string pattern's a little different. A little bit longer of a pause there between the C and D chord. And then we end on the C power chord before we go into the 2nd verse. So we into the 2nd verse, we start that off with the open E riff. Back to the riff. Just like in the 1st verse, go back to the C, hold that. So from that transition, from the 7th fret to the 9th fret on the D and G, it's that little riff on the low E is. Back to this melody. Hold that one from C to D power chord, holding that C, shift to D, and then we're back into the chorus. So play the same thing again. The chords follow the melody of the lyric or the vocal. Now we're going into the bridge. Again, using the same chords that we're familiar with as the C power chord. But during that, we hit that chord, and then we're going to shift down here and bar right over the 5th fret of the D, G, and B string. We're going to play this: B, G, D, B, G, D. Shift to the 7th fret, barring the same strings. Play again: B, G, B, B, G, D, B, G, D. Back to the 5th fret. Then we're going to hold that D power chord. Now this is the part where we're going into the rhythm guitar parts for underneath the solo. And so it does a little bit of pick scrapes. Pick scrapes are basically where you're scraping your pick over the string, but you're not actually fretting anything. You're just laying your fingers across. But this is what it sounds like, the rhythm guitar part underneath the solo. So there's chords we're familiar with, we've already used in the song, it's just a little different strumming pattern, and you're stopping that abruptly with your muting with your palm, so stop it. So I'm do a couple scrapes before I actually fret the chord. Shift to the C, sliding to the D chord. Back to the D, to the E power chord, back to the C, shifting to the D. Now we're going to go to the C power chord and hold that chord. This is the ending part of the guitar solo. Shift to the D, and then we're getting ready to come back into the last part of the pre-chorus before we go into the last chorus. Now, once we hold that C, D, The open E string riff is played slightly different. This time, instead of muting, we're going to play that by shifting our palm just slightly back on the bridge and going. Okay, and that's just all open E string. Down up picking. D chord to the C chord and hold that, and then we're going back into the chorus. Okay, so we're on to breaking down the guitar solo. Very challenging solo. This is a Bruce Kulicks guitar work during his time in Kiss. It's just some of my favorite of all time. Just a great, great player. Very challenging solo. It's actually hard for me to teach some of this slowly, especially the tapping part, but I'm going to do the best I can. So we're going to start off our ring fingers on the 15th fret of the B, and we have our first finger on the 12th fret of high E, and we're going. And I'm playing those two strings together and kind of bending up. Now that part is 12th fret of the high E, 15th fret of the B, 12th fret of the B, back to the 15th fret, this, and then a little bit of vibrato. So we have this. Okay, I'm going to shift down here to the 17th fret and play. Obviously, it's going to be 17, 15, and 14 in the high E. So we have, so we're just 17, 15, 14, and then we're playing back to 15, 14, 17 on the B string. Back to the 14th on the high E. So we pivot, 17th of the B, 15th of the B. So we have so far. And then we just back, and when we do this, we repeat back to the 17th, 15th, and end on the 16th fret of the G. So we have. Then we bend up on the 17th fret of the B. And then it's just full bend. So that's 17, 15, back to 17 on the B. So we have this so far. Okay, from here we're going. This is all based around the E minor pentatonic scale. So we're starting on 12th fret, 13th fret, 15th fret of the B, and grabbing the 12th fret of the high E. And then we just come back and kind of climb back down that scale. So 12, 13, 15, 12 high E, 15th B, 13th B. So we have, now from there we have a little ham-on. And that's going to be, the ham-on is going to be on the B string from the 12th and 13th fret. Then 14th fret of the G, back to the 12th fret of the B, ends on the 14th fret of the G. So it's this so far we'll play. So let's play what we have so far. So that one's and we're doing that little walk down there. So the next part of that is we're still playing that same melody. And there's that ham-on. So we pick those two notes from the 12th and 13th first, and then we do the hammer-on from the 12th to 13th back. Nice. And that's just going to be a hammer-on from sliding down. It's all going to be on the B string. Hammer-on is going to be from the 8th fret of the B to the 10th fret, then from the 7th fret to the 8th fret, and then ends on the 3rd fret of the B. Let's play that one again. It's just a tricky little lick. So this is the part that's kind of hard for me to explain slowly. So I'm going to do the best I can on this. Is the tapping part. So we've already done the... Now, the tapping is going to occur on the 13th fret of the B string. What we're fretting up here at the left hand is going to be the 5th fret, 6th fret, and 8th fret of the B string. So I'm actually I'm not tapping on the first part, I'm just plucking the string so that we just get this E note. And then we're going to hammer from 5, 6, 6, 8 on the B. And then we tap on the 13th fret. So we have this so far. And then when I tap, I'm pulling off from the 8th to the 6th fret to the 5th fret. So this is what it sounds like slowly. Okay. And that repeats 3 times. That part's tricky. So on that 3rd time through and you hammer on here, you're just tapping. So it's I'm basically tapping and then pulling off there from the 6th to the 5th. Tricky, I know. And then it repeats again. Let's play that. I'm gonna play it kind of fast so you can hear it. Okay, and then from there we're going. That's where we're tapping on the 12th fret of the G string. We move to the G string, where our fretting hand up here is going to be 7th fret, 5th fret, and then an open G. So we tap, pull, and pull into an open string, and then it finishes on that G note, which is hard to grab. I actually try to kind of hammer on it and pick it at the same time. So Okay, I'm going to try to play this tapping part for you all together slowly. Okay, we got through that. Okay, now we're doing this little double picking riff. Okay, so it starts on the 5th fret of the A string. So down up picking. We're going to shift to the 7th fret. So we got 5th, 7th, 9th on the A string. We're going to shift from there to the 7th fret of the D, to the 9th fret of the D. So we have this so far. Now after we do that double picking here, we don't double pick on this 7th fret of the G. We just go a little bit of vibrato. Okay. A little pinch harmonic sounds good there too. The last part of the solo that's really hard is the ending run. So we're going to start down here on the 17th fret. I'm going to play it slowly. You could pick all those notes. I can't really tell. I think Bruce may be picking them all. It kind of sounds like he is, but I kind of pick, I kind of do 50-50. I do half picking, half hammer on pull off. So we start here on the 17th fret of the A. And so the D string, you're going to be going from 14, 16, 17. So we have 17, 14, 16, 17, 16, 14. So that part I might go do a pull off there. Then we're going to shift again. So the same pattern, we're just going to shift to different strings. This time it's going to be played on the 17th fret of the D, and then we're going to the 14th fret of the G, 16th fret of the G, 17th fret, back to the 16, back to the 14. So we have this so far. Now we're going to come back here to the 17th fret of the G. And this time we've got a little bit more of a stretch. We're going 15, 17, 19. And then we're going to climb down here on the 20th fret, bend up, full bend, and then we end on the 19th fret of the high E. So it sounds like this all together. And then vibrato on that 19th fret. So let's go ahead and I'm going to take you through the whole guitar solo slowly. Oops, missed that one. And that is the awesome Bruce Kulicks, and very difficult to play guitar solo for Who Wants to Be Lonely. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was so much fun doing this song. It took me a little while to work this one up, but I'm still working my way up the catalog. We'll do something from Crazy Nights next.